Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new episode of the Fintech Hunting Podcast. Our next guest is a repeat guest, has some of the most listened to Fintech Hunting episodes out there. He's an industry thought leader, a trendsetter, a Vanguard Award winner, one of the most connected in the mortgage industry, technology evangelist, an automation expert, and the list could go on and on. I couldn't be more excited to welcome back to the show Josh Friend, founder and CEO at Incelerate. Josh, welcome back.
Michael, thanks for having me. I'm really excited today to be here to kind of go over, I think, some of the announcements we've talked about.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to jump into that in a second. I know there's a lot of exciting news that you have. First, you have such a wealth of knowledge. What are some of the industry trends and some of the things that you're seeing out there in the marketplace today?
Yeah, a couple of things. I mean, number one, it's always been a term we use, but efficiencies. Lenders are starting to look at where can they really improve efficiencies. And if you look at the last several years, you really didn't have to be very efficient, right? Because it's just, revenue per loans were at all-time highs, marketing costs were at all-time lows, pull-throughs were all-time. I mean, all these things are working in your favor as a lender, but the efficiency thing is something that lenders weren't as focused on. One of the trends that I really like, and I've seen that I see a lot of, is, and this goes for two things. One, the line between consumer direct and retail is really blurring. Yep. And it's kind of, they're almost becoming the same, and it will be the same. So one of the trends I've really liked seeing is the retail side creating and marketing digitally and also creating their own leads. So we've had lenders who have purchased leads from lead providers for years, and they still do that. But over the last 6 months, year, we're starting to see lenders who are profitably, very effectively creating their own marketing campaigns. They're using tools like our system to drive Facebook marketing, Instagram marketing, Google retargeting ads, and they're really doing a lot with it. It was something previously, 5 years ago, as a lender, it was hard to do that because it was hard to monetize all the leads that you had and the cost for leads, but that's changed. So we're really seeing some lenders be able to just do direct marketing themselves with their own website, their own brand, and they're really being successful with it.
Well, let's talk about that a little. I know you guys, when Incelerate first started, you started out and you started dominating the consumer direct market. And to be quite honest, there's very few CRMs that can handle multiple channels. Tell us about all of the channels that Incelerate can handle, really being that one platform for all different lending types.
Yeah. So, we started with, as you just alluded to, more of the consumer direct side of things. I came from a consumer direct world. I've done both, but I have had a lot of experience in the consumer direct world. I personally had spent somewhere between $30 to $40 million marketing mortgages consumers. So, and the history of Incelerate is we originally built a system for ourselves. And what it was is, what we really wanted to build was really, really, really solid data management, data control, and data access. And that sounds kind of, arbitrary for mortgage, but what that really is in everything that we're doing. And as the mortgage industry evolves, it's all data-driven. It's automation, data-driven, movement of data. And I mean data like customer interaction data, emails, texts, phone calls, data from the file. So we really got good at managing and actually build a real CRM. Because if you look in the mortgage industry, there actually lacks a CRM, a real CRM. You have to go to like Salesforce and build something to have a CRM that can manage multiple workflows, different data flows, different activities, interactions. And so we built this platform to do that. And what it really enabled us to do is it allowed us to serve all of it, basically any industry and any channel that we wanted to. What we have focused on was mortgage. Just to give you an idea, we use Incelerate to sell Incelerate. So the platform is very versatile, but we've just focused on mortgage, and we really went after and we were dominating the consumer direct space because, there wasn't any other real solution out there. There's one incumbent out there that's had a platform there for 20 years. People, as you think about it, it's a 20-year-old platform. People are getting off it. We're getting a lot of customers from them, but there wasn't anyone out there that was really in that space. So we really took that space over, and now, we've put ourselves as the de facto CRM. If you're getting into consumer direct, you're upgrading your technology, you go with Incelerate. At the same time, our lenders also we were working with sold TPO wholesale, had distributed retail, had reverse mortgage. And our motto really has been, we're in the business to help lenders close more loans. That's not, we're not in the CRM business. We're not in the marketing business. We're not in the tech. We're in the business of helping our lenders close more loans. So as we took that approach and we saw lenders say, hey, we had one of our lenders, Town Mortgage, great organization out of Michigan, have a servicing portfolio. They have retail, distributed retail, consumer direct, servicing. They have TPO. Their entire organizations are on our platform, and they were one of our original users of our latest version of our platform in 2017 when we launched it. They said, hey, we have our account executives. We'd really love to have the ability to manage them and give them an ability to have a CRM and workflow. So, and we're looking at your CRM, and it looks like we could easily do that with it. Can we just, we need to just make some new updates, and we did. We did an integration to LMA's Encompass, their TPO object, and that's become super impactful because now AEs out in the street can have access to their brokers and their brokers' records and understanding what brokers giving them business. Actually look at loan file level information from their cell phone and interact, engage, market, work, prospect, sell, and have access, which hasn't existed. So we said, you're right, absolutely. We're in the business of helping lenders close more loans. Let's roll that out. And we gave it to our wholesale lenders, and they're using it now, and it's really been growing. We actually see it as a place where we think we're going to see a lot of growth over the next year or two because it's the only solution out there, and it allows lenders also to market. You can market to your brokers and whatever you want to do with the platform. So that was one thing. And I think, Michael, the one that I'm really excited to really talk about is our retail tools. So we have been building retail tools and been serving the distributed retail market for quite some time. We have thousands of loan officers that use our platform right now for retail. One area that we had, what I'd say, lacked, or an area where we needed some more functionality, was in our co-marketing flyer and our website landing page. So we came out with a new product called Agent Connect. Very excited about Agent Connect. So now, not only do we have a full turnkey CRM, lead management, marketing automation platform, mobile application, you now have Agent Connect that's going to allow loan officers to partner with their real estate agent partners and create open house flyers with integrated pricing, create landing pages for open house landing pages with, again, integrated pricing. So the real estate agent, actually what's great about our platform is it's automated. So once I'm connected with Michael Hammonds, a realtor, anytime you list a home, our systems integrate the MLS data. It's going to automatically create a flyer, a web page, send it to you, and you, the real estate agent, have access to it. If you want, you can go in, log into the portal, create your own as the agent, make different ones, do whatever you want, but it's automated as well. So every time that something happens, you have a landing page built.
So let's stop there for a second because I think it's critical, right? I mean, because people say, well, open house flyers have been around for a long time. Yeah, and you had to go find the artwork, and you had to create it, and you had to type in the real estate agent's information. We're not talking about just the status quo of here's an open house flyer, here's a landing page. Let's really dive into some of that automation, the fact that you're tying into MLS, the fact that you can populate that information instantly is what saves the loan officer and the real estate agent not only a ton of time, but accuracy. You can have your pricing on that. So go into that a little bit more detail because I don't want to gloss over it. That automation and that one-click access to instantly give them those tools is such a key differentiator.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I mean, traditionally what happens is if I want to create an open house flyer, I have to go in, log into the portal, or the realtor does. I have to choose or create a template, pull in the data. Now, some have MLS integration, so I can say, hey, pull the MLS data, and it pulls it in, and then I can create. But it causes me as a loan officer, a real estate agent, to actually have to go do something. I have to go actively log in and say, oh, yeah, that's the flyer I want with that, and this is what it looks like. Create. I have to create that. So, I mean, great. People have been doing it for years. We just took a little step further well, you don't have to go in there and create it. Once you list the house, there's an email going to be sitting in your inbox. It's already created and waiting for you. So it just makes it that much easier now. What we're trying to do is lower friction points. Anywhere we can, lower the friction point, fewer steps, fewer requests, fewer activities to get to the same areas. And that's what we've done is it's automated. And then also pricing. You can choose different, hey, listen, I want to come in and every time I do an open house flyer, I want to show a, depending on what the loan amount, let's say the home purchase price is under $700,000. I want to show an FHA deal. I want to show a 20% down deal, and I want to show a 10, a 10-10-10, a piggyback with a 10% second. Here's the three pricing options I want to see every time, and those are all going to print up and be on the landing page or the open house flyer. So you can create automated pricing. It's going to go to Optimal Blue. It's going to pull your pricing in. It's going to calculate it. It's going to put it in there. Again, this is automated. I don't have to do this. I'll also, as I'm adding my realtors, the way it works is I don't type in Michael Hammond and hope to find Michael Hammond. I'm typing in Michael Hammond. It's actually, system's actively searching MLS data for a realtor named Michael Hammond. It's pulling up all the realtors that are Michael Hammond. And then I'm clicking the one that's you because I know your address, state, whatever it may be. And now I'm actually connected through MLS to you. So it's not just a name, but I have your data feed. And anytime something happens, it's going to show up and it's going to automate it.
Well, and that is so powerful because, as you mentioned, that eliminates those friction points, right?
Yeah.
So now the loan officer who gets busy doesn't forget to send the 5 other flyers out to the real estate agent that they're working with or the agent that they haven't gotten something from in a little while. All of that automation is really keeping top of mind with everything that you're doing. So as a loan officer, you're differentiating yourself with those real estate agents. They're going to continue to come back to you because you made their life easier and help them get more buyers in the door and more loans closed. And then everyone gets the commission. It's a win-win-win all across the board. Very, very powerful. One thing I want to go back to, you mentioned all the different loan types and retail, wholesale, correspondent, TPO, reverse. People are using it for servicing. I don't know of another platform that can handle all of those lending channels and the efficiencies that are gained by having one platform for all of that instead of I've got this platform, this platform, this, and then the data doesn't talk to one another.
You're right there. And so as far as we know, there isn't one that does all this. We haven't found anyone that has all this. And we also have it as a mobile app. And just from what we've been able to find in the marketplace, there is no mobile CRM with lead management, distribution, and engagement in any industry as well. So it looks like we definitely have some market leading first, not just in the mortgage industry, but in the overall broader market when it comes to this technology. And, if you're a lender right now, just think about efficiencies, right? And think about cost. If you have 2 platforms or 3 platforms, you have a CRM for loan officers, you have a HubSpot marketing for your AEs, but no real CRM because they don't really make a real CRM. And you have another system for your consumer direct or your self-gen. You have these 2-3 platforms. They don't talk. There's no interaction. And, the cost, that's the cost of each platform. So let's just say, even hypothetically, if it's the same cost per seat across the board, and switching to the installer rate, you don't save a penny on the cost per seat, but where you save a ton of money on, you have one system now to administrate, one system to learn, one system to train. So the amount of what I call brain damage your internal organization has to do to run this platform is a lot less, right? And really, if you think about it, that's what you as a lender, as a leader, if you're not selling loans, you're using your brain to figure out how to get your loan officers to sell loans and make more money. So why try to manage 3 systems to try to figure out what you can do with 3 systems? All that brain power, time is money. All that time spent on figuring it out, being frustrated it doesn't work the way you want it to work. That's expensive, very expensive. Whereas you go to one,
exactly,
one platform.
And besides that, you don't normally have the holistic view of that client. We've talked about this numerous times on this show. The average consumer is going to get 7 to 11 loans over the course of their lifetime. Like 85% don't go back to their first lender. If you have all of these channels, now you know what type of loans they're looking at, how they've interacted with you before, and you can be much more engaging across the platform. I want to touch upon mobile for a second because I think there's a lot of garbage out there. People say, oh, well, we have a mobile app. I've seen some of these CRMs. Some of them are mortgage specific. A lot of them are not. And they say they're mobile, and all I can do is pull up Michael Hammond, and they give me my phone number. That's not a mobile CRM. Talk about, you guys have a native app that you can basically do everything you could do on your desktop in the palm of your hand with a cell phone. That's significantly different.
It is. No, you're absolutely right. We were, I originally used Salesforce to sell and accelerate some years ago. And after a year of that, I said, this is crap. I can't use it. It's too difficult. I'm a technology person, and it's just causing me a lot of brain damage and cost to manage and implement. I'm going to go to my platform. And then one of the other things was Salesforce had a mobile app, and it doesn't really do anything. So a lot of mobile apps, there are two things that we see on the marketplace. One, it's not really a mobile app. It's just a website that's mobile responsive, so you can kind of interact with the website. Doesn't make for a great use case of using a platform if it's not an actual application, because the native controls and functionalities aren't there. So we've seen native, or web pages that are optimized. So it's just a tiny version view of the screen you're wanting to work on your desktop, and you have to scroll out and expand the screens to see what each one says and go back down. I mean, it's difficult to use. Or the few native apps we've seen it's just that it doesn't actually control. There's no functionality. It's a basic lookup. I can look up a name and get some information, not even all the information. I can't notate the file. I can't create an action. I can't add it to a workflow. I can't create a marketing engagement to it. I can't click to call, like our system all has click to call. I can't text. We have mobile compliant texting right through our platform. So it's controlled through the app. So it's always tracked, compliant. Opt-in, opt-outs are being managed by us, not the loan officer. So this mobile app really gives a lot of these functionality that just doesn't exist right now.
Let's talk about compliant texting. I get this question all the time. I coach a lot of loan officers and everything, and they're like, well, Michael, I think my CRM does it. And I say, well, look for the term from the platform, in air quotes, from the platform. If you can text from the platform, usually it's a randomized phone number. It's not your cell phone number or my cell phone number if I'm trying to build that relationship. If I'm out with my kids doing something on the weekend and I need to respond, oh, hold on a second, I just sent out a campaign, but now I have to wait 2 hours for my kid's soccer game to be done, or done at the grocery store, and go back to my house and be in front of my desktop, or hope that I can pull up my laptop somewhere. With a truly native mobile app like you guys have, you actually can compliantly text from your own cell phone, my cell phone, the loan officer's cell phone. Is that correct?
That is correct. And I think the point you're making is that's huge, because no one's doing this appropriately right now. You have your retail loan officers texting PII information from their cell phone. So if you really start thinking about this, you as a lender have you're out of compliance, because you can't protect that data if it's on their personal cell phone, on their personal carrier side of their cell phone. Whereas our application, the text messages actually come in and out of our application on their cell phone. So we control that. So we control the text, what's being sent. If there's been opt-in, they can't text if there's no opt-in, right? So all that functionality. And then to the user experience, it's just like a regular text on their phone. They're going to get a notification that pops up that just like it says there's a text, but it's going to have the Accelerate logo. And it's going to have a preview of the message, just like a text message does. If you have an Apple iPhone, you're going to get the notification on your iPhone. It's going to pop up in a little Accelerate icon with a little preview of the message. You click it, and now you're reading the message, and now I can respond to that message from the same number that they text, and they went back and forth, and it's my number. And if that consumer decides to call that text number, our system is going to route that call to whatever work phone number or mobile phone they have in the system, so that we always connect it to the loan officer. So it creates this compliant texting, and now we saw this as a major issue. And it's funny, is some of the consumer direct call centers were the ones that actually pushed for this even more than the retail loan officers, because they're using all this text messaging. They're like, Josh, my gals at lunch, and they're getting a response. They want someone to lock in their rate, but they're not able to respond to them. Or it's on a Saturday. We need to speed this up. Yep. We need instant responses so we can create movement and keep the momentum going. Same thing with real estate agents. No, they're realtors and loan officers, no different. They need that immediacy to keep this process going. I want to be able to, it's Thursday. I just closed and bought a house. And I can tell you, And during the process, I had taken 2 applications, 2 different lenders. And the one that communicated consistently, was easy to get a hold of, and they texted me back and forth consistently, that's who got the business. It was really easy to interact and work with them. I have very low friction point, whereas a lender, I had a high friction point where, I could see their process wasn't as efficient. I got hey, your loan's been approved 2 days after I already knew it had been approved. Like things like just all these things that didn't really make sense. And it was like, that doesn't really even make sense. And you'd be surprised that some of these lenders are big banks, and they have great for everyone else that's out there, that some of your big right. banks have actually pretty bad technology right now. The experience is actually rough. I can just tell you from one of the top 5 banks I closed my loan with. I won't say which bank it was, but I was shocked at some of the back end technology of it. Now, great rate, great loan officer service, but the tech side of it, taking the application and using their POS, the password's not working, all this, it was really mind-boggling that we still are in this space doing that, which I just say that's great news for all you lenders, because you're much more nimble and quick than an organization that has 50,000 employees. So you can make changes, put technology, and you can be ahead of the curve. And with platforms like Accelerate and other systems that are out there, you can have better technology than the best bank that's out there, the most advanced bank. It's at your fingertips now. Software as a service, it's accessible. 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, it wasn't accessible. That's why Rocket Mortgage is who they are today. This technology wasn't accessible. They built it for themselves, and they've absolutely dominated the space because of it. Well, now this technology is accessible to anybody, right? Anyone out there can take this.
It's leveling the playing field, and I think it's so critical that people look at this, and you look at what's going on in the market. Loan officer retention is critical. When you provide them powerful tools like this, not only do you retain more loan officers, but you also have much higher adoption rates for people using the technology that you're investing in.
That's right. And loan officer adoption and recruitment, that's huge. And if you're a loan officer, I've been in the lending industry since 99, so 23 years. I stopped being a lender in 2018, so it's been 4 years since I've been a lender. But I can tell you, there's no question if I were to go back into being a lender, I would say first thing I would do is build out Accelerate and our tools and go to the market and say, we have the most advanced platform, the automation set up, the workflows, we can help you become a super LO, basically. And we're going to give you all the tools. You come here and you just perform, and we support you. And that's, I think, the name of the game now is, what can you do? It was, how quickly do you close my loan? What's my pricing? How much am I able to make? Those are kind of like, those do play into the mix, but that's becoming commoditized now. And it's really, people aren't differentiating themselves really with that. Unless they're really bad, then they're differentiating themselves if they're really bad. Short of that, everyone's saying, we close loans in 20 days purchases, and we can get you an underwritten approval in 48 hours. And, our pricing's as good as everyone else. And that's all true. So now it's, how do you set yourself aside as, well, we have tools. We have platform that can help you and actually creates business and drives revenue. And I think that's lenders should really look at doing that.
I couldn't agree more. And Josh, you and I could talk for hours. I love your new Agent Connect. For those of you who have not seen it, Josh, what's the easiest way if somebody wants to see Agent Connect and the power it will have with the real estate networks? How can they get a hold of Accelerate, and how can they get a demo or a discovery?
Just go to Accelerate.com and hit get demo. Fill it out. One of our team members will reach out to you. You'll get an experience of our platform in that process. You'll get a call within an hour. If not immediately, it gets managed. We have a whole team that does that. We'll set up a demo with you, and we'll just show it to you. That's basically it.
Oh, that's fantastic. And like you mentioned, it's for all lending channels. Now you're providing automated and dynamic open house flyers, landing pages. You've got native mobile. It supports on Apple, Android, so whatever systems. Josh, thank you so much for being a guest on this episode of the Fintech Hunting Podcast.
Thank you, Michael.